Hey dolls, Kenny here, coming back to do another podcast with Keo Layton Jr. You're not a junior. I don't know why I said that. Do you want to go with your topic first, or?
Well, I am Emma Roberts, and the bitch is back, so I'll go first.
Calm down.
But yeah, the first thing I do want to talk about is Logan Paul, which of course everybody has been talking about him because he has just been over the fucking top and needs to be stomped to the ground. But YouTube has been trying to restrict his content. Like, they've been doing like several things, like restricted his ads, and I think they finally completely took his YouTube channel down. Really? But apparently you can't stop the devil. Apparently you cannot stop the devil because he'd have made another channel.
So, wait, what did they take the channel down for? Is it still over the whole the suicide forest situation, or did he do something else? Because I know the last video I remember hearing of him post was his little, I don't know if it was an apology video or him like trying to say that he understands what he did was wrong, and it was like this whole scripted thing, and he did the video with the suicide survivor. There we are. There's the word. Suicide survivor. And had all these nice shots in the video. I saw like the opening, but I didn't watch the rest of it. But I haven't heard of him doing anything else. So is there something else that's going on?
One point he made a video where he was like doing something to some dead squirrels or something, But they didn't specifically say what the reasons were, but they did take it down finally. But like I said, you can't stop the devil because he is still making videos. He's put up a separate vlog channel.
I know YouTube has some little thing where they're like, I'm looking at it right now. I just went to his page, but I went and looked his name up on YouTube. I know that YouTube has this thing where you're supposed to not, of course people still do it, but if they block your channel or delete it, you're supposed to not make another one. But I don't think they heavily enforce that rule because there's too many people that do it. And then a lot of these YouTubers nowadays all have separate channels. Like, they'll have their main channel, and then they'll have like a vlog channel, and then they'll have a cooking channel and a gaming channel and all this other stuff. So
yeah, or they'll hop on somebody else's channel.
You cut off one head and two more grow. So I don't know if YouTube is really going to be able to stop him at all.
Yeah, I think it'd be very hard, unless somehow they could. Well, probably not even then, because even if they somehow like ban his email address, you can always make a new one. Like, it would be hard to be able to erase him from the internet. But the thing is that all this is doing is fueling his fire and his celebrity.
It is, because you just have people looking him up, like I just did, to go find out what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, and so people are still very interested in him and what he's doing, and it's really only made him more popular, to be honest. I feel like the more controversy that's stirred up, the more followers he gets.
Yeah, because I think he got a lot of them over that whole suicide thing, and it was just a fucking mess to me. I mean, there are too many. I mean, I know it's already been, all of this shit has been said before, but I ain't said it. So there are too many steps from the moment he walked into the moment he planned to go to the suicide forest with his camera, to the moment that he recorded that moment in the suicide forest with the camera. And then when he got it home and edited that video, and then he posted it. Like, there were moments between these things where you could have stopped yourself and been like, you know what? This ain't right. But he decided to post it anyway, so he don't care. And then that video came out the vlog came out of him and his brother running around Japan, acting like fucking assholes to everybody. I was just like, and people find this funny. People find him entertaining, because he's not.
Yes, they find it entertaining because he's white. And I'm sorry, I'm not at all racist. I do not care. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll tell anybody, I'll say it to your face, that at any point in time, if this was a person of color, and I don't mean just black, I mean black, Hispanic, Japanese, Chinese, whoever, a person of color were to do this, they would be standing in front of a firing squad. This, because he is a person of fair skin, and how they like to say they don't see color, but a person of fair skin, he can get away with being the biggest asshole, and people find it just so adorable and so cute. And oh my God, I just want to pinch his cheeks. I want to date his brother, and I want to.
That is very true, because I think about it the same way as. Well, I don't know if this is really comparable, but you know how they had Jackass, and there was a bunch of white dudes doing stupid shit. And then, what was it on Adult Swim? Oh, what were their names?
What, Lorder Squad?
Yeah, that bullshit. It was essentially the same thing with just some black people. And they didn't get nearly as much traction as something like that did. I don't know if it was because they weren't as funny. Either way, I didn't really find any of them funny, to be quite honest, Jackass or that. But I would look at it and I'm just like, well, y'all ain't never gonna go anywhere because you don't have the skin complexion that allows for you to be complete idiots and get famous for it.
It's completely that way because you do have to be of a particular skin color to get away with that type of shit.
Not only to get away with it, but to get away and be able to gain notoriety from it. Like,
be able to monetize it.
Yeah, because there's no way if he was somebody, like you said, somebody of color, that he'd be able to do that. That shit would have been taken down immediately when he tried to post it.
Oh yeah, everybody would have been offended.
Everybody, like, how can you go to China and
there would not have been no room in the universe for it, bitch. They would have shut that shit down quick. And it bothers me and to be honest, not just because a white person is doing it. I feel like no person should be doing that type of shit. But it's fucking sad that, it's okay for a certain person of a certain skin color, of a certain hair color, of a certain eye color to get away with some crazy bullshit like that. Like torturing dead animals and shit. What kind of shit in the white hot devil hell is this?
Speaking of the white hot devil, I want to get to a topic that's also going to piss me off, or has pissed me off, is these bitches at the at the Super Bowl. After that team won, because I don't, Sportsball and all that, I don't pay attention to it, but whatever team won.
Sportsball.
Whatever team won and decided to trash their city.
The Patriots?
Yeah. It pissed me off the entire time. No, the Patriots didn't win. Was it the Falcons, the Eagles, the Bald Eagles?
Well, whoever it was Philly. It was Philly, right?
Yes. And I remember because I was watching it at work in the break room, and I'm just seeing these news anchors talk about like, oh, look at that. And then the police officers giving these people high fives as they're running through the streets and destroying property, hanging off of these fucking signs and flipping cars and burning shit. And I'm just like, but let a person of color protest. I won't even say a person of color. When Black Lives Matter was protesting, they got tear gassed. They were walking down the street just being normal, just protesting, using their rights. And they got gassed. But these people are allowed to destroy shit. And it's a game. They're just rambunctious people. They're happy because their team won. Like, bitch, where is this okay?
I don't know. Some of these men need to start taking some estrogen. They just have too much fucking testosterone. I don't know what's happening in their, like, genomes and their biochemistry. Like, they are missing a couple of chromosomes. I don't know what is happening when men watch motherfucking sports because they just become fucking brutes and barbarians. Like they have to bang their head against brick walls and knock each other's teeth out.
I don't understand it either. Every time I watch or I see someone that I know watch sports, or if I'm in that kind of area, and I'm just watching these straight men or men in general who get excited over the sports and stuff, just flipping the fuck out and screaming and yelling, and I'm just like, I try to equate it to something of myself that I'm like really excited to watch, something that's like really eventful. I don't behave like that no matter what the show is. I may get excited and happy, but I'm not screaming. I'm not breaking shit if something bad happens on the TV. Like, I don't understand the correlation of how you can, like, how something can get you so riled up that you have no direct ties to. Like, you don't know any of these people on this team. You are not a part of this team. You don't have money coming, I guess, unless you bet on it. You're not getting paid if this team wins or loses. Like, why are you so damn rambunctious? we see this happen kind of like all the time, I guess. Like after Super Bowls, a lot of the times you'll see people fucking shit up. But it's only recently where we've been seeing more of these marches from people trying to get their rights or to speak their minds and show people how fucked up it is that a black person gets treated so horribly for things and white people can just slide under the radar with things. And I'm not saying that because I feel like I hate all white people or anything, because I don't. I really don't hate any person. I don't care about people enough to hate them like that. It just kind of irks me when, I think I saw somebody on Twitter saying this, and they were like mad because people were tying it into race, and they were like, this isn't even a racial issue. And I'm like, well, the thing is, it is a racial issue, because when y'all can do things that are 10 times worse than just people protesting, and y'all get high-fived and congratulated for it, and are just like, our excuses are being made, it's okay. But people that are just fighting for their rights get tear gassed for simply protesting. It's annoying. Like, and when you don't see that, it makes it even worse. When you fight to not see that, it makes it worse. Like, don't listen to what I'm saying to respond. Listen to understand what I'm saying. Because I know some people are also saying some shit like, oh, well, that wasn't even the whole city. That wasn't even the whole state. It was just those couple people around a couple blocks. And it's like, it doesn't matter where it was or how many people it was. The fact of the matter is they broke laws and didn't go to jail. It was a fine and dandy. Let me go hang off of a goddamn lamppost and swing my ass into a window. I'm going to jail for it.
I think that the biggest issue here, and we're about to go to break soon, but I'm going to say this real quick, is white, and I'm going to say this because reminds me of somebody that I know who was white, and I feel like it's something that is prevalent in that particular race, where they don't like to be a part of anything that's going to make something uncomfortable. See, it's okay for them to get rambunctious about football because football doesn't make them uncomfortable. But when you're talking about politics, and not just politics in general, but politics that's talking about somebody else's rights other than theirs, they get really uncomfortable. For one thing, they feel guilty about what's happened in the past. Either they feel guilty or they wish it was still the past, So it's kind of like that type of thing where it's like also, when they do the Super Bowl and they're like, oh, we don't want all that politics on the Super Bowl. It's supposed to be a family show and blah, 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 blah. It's basically just anything that's going to stir the pot, and whether it's positive or negative, and really to me they're more acquainted with the negative than ever the positive. Like, they're all here for something that's going to stir the pot in a negative way. Mm-hmm. But if it's going to promote change and equality, they become very uncomfortable, because it's very okay to be unequal when you're sitting at the top of the totem pole.
I was just going to say that was going to be my very point. Well, you don't have to stir the pot, or you wouldn't want to stir the pot if all of your rights are intact. If you're not getting ridiculed for things, if you're sitting at the top of the damn mountain, bitch, you don't want to start nothing because you want to stay up there.
And so, yeah, and we're going to take this time to go on a break, and we'll be right back.
Bye.
Hey, Kitty.
What, bitch?
I think I need to speak to management.
You can go ahead and speak to Jackie. I'm spinning right now.
Well, all of that over-the-counter experience, high top quality, tell you like it is.
Sees color.
Right, she sees color. She ain't colorblind, bitch. She is Jackie Aina. We follow her religiously. If you want to follow anybody, she's going to give you everything you need as far as information about why you're using makeup and how to use it, and oh my god.
Yeah, this ain't no basic beauty, bitch. She about to give you the details, bitch. She gonna go into why you use certain products, why certain products don't work, tells you the background of certain companies which need to be put on blast about some bullshit they be doing. She gives you the details that you need. She's not just putting a look together and having you follow up on that look. She's giving you the tools, bitch, and the knowledge to use that to the best of your abilities. And I think y'all need to subscribe to her.
Exactly. So square up. Call the counselor, call the mayor, call the president. Let them know Jackie Aina is in the building.
Yes, bitch. Go ahead and subscribe. Get into the bitch.
Okay, so we're back.
Yes, and I want to stick to the topic of the Super Bowl and talk about Justin Timberlake. Now, I'm going to go and be real honest with you. I did not watch the halftime show. So if you watched it, which I'm sure you did.
I did. I did.
That's why I said I'm sure you did. You're going to be the one that has to fill me in on the shit that happened there and like your opinion about it. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I heard. I kind of got turned off to watching it when I saw what he was wearing because I didn't understand it. And I didn't understand it even more when he posted an Instagram post, the one I sent you, where he was showing the clothes he's going to be selling at a pop-up shop. And I was like, bitch, this is Walmart. This is literally Walmart in the South, I feel like. Like, what is this?
Yeah. I don't understand why he all of a sudden wants to kind of like promote Trader Joe's or something. Is like, whose tractor are you riding on?
But I don't really get it because people were saying he didn't sound good when he was singing. Like, there were sometimes his voice cracked. This is what people are saying. I don't know. So I trust your opinion more than some random bitches on Twitter and Instagram that just want attention. But it was like his voice cracked and they were saying he didn't sound good.
Well, people don't really like him right now. People are not here for Justin Timberlake right now. I don't know what happened. People are calling him, and this is something that I've been reading, they're calling him a culture vulture.
Oh my God.
Where he's been appropriating black culture to make money. And now that he's made money, he's gone back to remembering that he's white. But at the same time, because everybody was under the impression that he was coming out with a country album, which at the same time, I'm like, when did country start only belonging to white people? Yeah. But, either way, his album is not country. It's still very urban. It's not a great album. I'm not happy with it. But, and I'm a Justin Timberlake fan. So don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Justin Timberlake is from here. I am all here for supporting him because he's from Memphis. And I live in Memphis. And, I want to see him in his concert. But that album wasn't all that. Now, as far as the show, I enjoyed the show, but honestly, like, he kept going from 50 million different stages. Like, he'll be on this stage and then he'll finish that stage, he'll go to this stage. So he was all over the place. And there wasn't a whole lot of like impressive dancing, not a whole lot of stunts. I mean, for one thing, he didn't bring anybody out, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, a lot of people kept saying that too. One of the biggest critiques that I kept hearing was people were saying that he didn't, like, his melodies, they said that they didn't meld the right way, or they weren't in the order that sounded really good together. I don't know. I want to hear your take on that, but people were just saying that all the songs that he sang, they didn't really tie into each other well, or they didn't bleed into each other well.
I don't agree with that. I mean, as far as the setup and what was done, I feel like they were executed pretty well. As far as like the song selection, he played the hits. And I know a big thing that people like, please don't play any music from the album. He did Filthy, and I think Filthy was the only new song.
I love that song so much.
Me too, but I think that was the only song that he really did from the new album, and he pretty much stuck to the old music, which I feel like everybody would have been happy about. He also strayed away from making a political statement, which I feel like people would have been happy about that too. But people were fucking upset about the Prince tribute.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. I didn't really understand what did he do exactly. I just kept people. What I've taken away from it is that he made a hologram or like a picture of him or something, some video of Prince singing or dancing or something, and he was singing with him. In my mind, I don't see how that was offensive. But
well, okay, I didn't particularly know this. This is something I learned from watching the talk because they talked about it, and they said that apparently in a past interview, Prince stated that he doesn't like hologram perform, like when somebody current is performing with a hologram of a dead, artist. Mm-hmm. So they seem like they're performing together. And he was basically saying, like, if we were meant to perform together, we would have done it during the time where both of us were alive. Ooh. And so he was saying he was really against that. So, although it was not a hologram, it was like a big sheet with like a projection.
Yeah, because I saw the picture of it. That's what I was like. I said hologram, but then I'm like, well, I know it's like a big blown up picture or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, he did basically sing along to the track of "I Would Die for You." I believe that's the song he sang, and but I didn't see anything wrong with Justin's vocals, so I don't understand what people were talking about with that. And I think he did have a little bit of audio issue.
Well, this will be a lesson to football people, or who was it? Super Bowl. Bring Beyonce back. This should be y'all's cue to every other year. Have her ass there.
So some bitches can be real, man. But also, people are also saying that Prince didn't like Justin Timberlake. Now, if there was a beef between Prince and Justin Timberlake, bitch, I don't know nothing about it.
Ciao.
Apparently, they said that Justin did a diss track to Prince. I'm like, child, where are these receipts? But that's something that they kind of touched on the talk, where they were saying that they don't really understand why people were so offended about it, because they thought that the tribute was beautiful, which it was, like how they lit up the city in purple and everything. It was so nice, because that's where Prince is from, Minneapolis. And so they said that in order for him to be able to do that, they would have had to have gotten, clearance from his family and his camp and, people of his estate. Yeah. There was no way that if they had a problem with it, they would not have allowed it to happen.
Yeah, and he would have been sued, which is why I'm just like, y'all get offended by these things, but you don't understand. People don't just do shit to do it. You have to go through clearance and shit like that with these kinds of things. Yeah. Because he would have got his ass sued.
And this is a Super Bowl, and they're not going to have any bullshit like that happening.
They surely ain't. I'm sure there was a bitch right there with the checklist, and she was like, Justin, did you get a permission to do this? Because what you're not going to do is have the Super Bowl dragged into your lawsuit.
But speaking of music legends, the greats, not you, Paul. The great Quincy Jones had a very much talked about interview this past week.
This man, you talk about not having a filter.
Child, he went in. Talked about who had sex with who, said Michael Jackson stole folks' music.
Now, I'm sure this is fine and dandy for publications and people that talk about rumors and shit like that, but I don't understand Quincy Jones. If these people were your friends or you knew them at a certain time, if the interview is about you, why are you telling these people's business? Like, I understand they ask questions that could lead up to that, but you could cut yourself off from saying that such and such happened.
I feel like, but if you really paid attention to the interview, a lot of that stuff he offered up, like the stuff he said about Marlon Brando. That man didn't ask him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but the interviewer didn't ask him about that stuff. He just brought that up himself, like Michael Jackson. He brought that whole thing up about him stealing music himself.
Which I wanted to talk about that. What I was thinking when he said that, because he said that he stole that song from, was it, oh my God, what was the bitch's name he said he stole that from? Donna Summers. He said that song was from a Donna Summers song. And I was like, didn't you produce that too? So you produced that song from Donna Summers and this one from Michael Jackson, but yet Michael Jackson stole. It seems to me that you profited from both of these songs while they profited from one each. So it seems to me that you stole a song and gave it to Michael. So I don't understand how he can let that shit slide.
Now, I think that just about every artist has stole something from somebody at some point. And I'm just going to be very honest about that. Like Timberlake is known for like stealing stuff from overseas and, and thinking it ain't going to come back.
Which kills me, especially if you give that to, like, if you give something to an artist that's really well known and like really high on the totem pole when it comes to like music, if you gave that song to another artist, you don't think they're gonna find out?
The thing that pisses me off about that though is that the producer doesn't get the heat for that.
The artist,
the singer gets the heat. Yeah, so it's really fucked up, when a producer basically duplicates beats for artists, and then like people are like, oh, she stole this or she stole that, and I'm just like, but y'all ain't said nothing about the producer.
Like Quincy Jones
they the
right
ones
now
that made the beat.
Like everybody is talking about Michael Jackson and how he possibly stole this song from Donna Summers. Meanwhile, Quincy Jones sitting up in his damn house while he's the one that produced both the damn songs. So it's like, if anybody stole something, it was him. And what song from Donna Summers is it? Do you know?
Can't remember exactly what was said. I know he was saying that like he was stealing credit from other musicians too. Like he wasn't like paying them the money for the work that they did. Instead, he would credit himself for something that another musician did. Now that right there is shady. And at the end of the day, Michael was a businessman, and Michael was going to do whatever he had to do to make money. Just like when he got the rights to the Beatles music, come on. Why would he get the rights to the Beatles music other than just to make money? Mm-hmm. Clearly he knew what he had to do to make money. And if it had to be shady,
bitch, you can't stand in the sun all the time.
Yeah, sometimes you got to spend a night in Devil's Den, honey.
But he was telling a lot of fucking business. Like, I was just surprised after I would read his next fucking sentence.
What he didn't spill the beans on was people who were still alive. See, he talked about all the people who were dead, if you paid attention. He wouldn't talk about the Clintons because they still alive. He wouldn't talk about Bill Cosby because he's still alive. So that's the thing, clearly he knows Bill Cosby has been doing that shit, because otherwise he would have just said, no, that's false. If you pay attention to people, when they don't want to tell on somebody, they're going to say, we can't talk about that. If he wasn't guilty of those things, he would have just said, oh no, that's not real, there's no truth in that. But he said, oh, we can't talk about that publicly. You turn that recorder off, I can tell you all about that. Turn the recorder
off, we're going to sit down with some tea real quick and I'm going to get you your life.
Trust me, I believe he did it, and really I believe almost every man did it at that time period, and some of them are still doing it, so hey, at the end of the day, that's just how it is. But some of these women need to be a little bit more smarter. they need to understand the interworkings of a man. The way a man views sex is different the way than a woman views sex. When a man uses sex as a weapon and a way to control people, so you got to know that, okay, if this man is asking me to come to his house at this time and ain't nobody else gonna be there, bitch, I'm sorry, I can't come over unless I have an escort. I'm not gonna be alone with. If I was a woman, you would not see me alone with a man unless he's my man.
That's what I was saying about the whole Aziz Ansari thing. I was like, this bitch should have known when she got in there. So no, I read the little that spiel that she gave to, was it babe.com or something? I remember reading all of that. And I was just like, so if he did what they're saying he did, which he hasn't denied, so I'm kind of believing it. It was really disgusting of him. Like, what turned me off the most is when she says he stuck his finger down in her mouth, because that turns me off. Please don't put your finger in my mouth, bitch, for no reason ever. I don't need that. So that really made me disgusted when I read it. And when she kept trying to walk away and all of this shit, and he kept going for her, I'm just like, to me, for any man, this is for straight men because I don't see too many gay people going through this. For any man that has a woman in his house and he wants to have sex with her, if you see this bitch constantly walking away and she's snatching her hand away, send that hoe home. Just let her go home, because if the only thing you brought her there was to have sex and she ain't trying to give it up, bitch, let her leave and you go fap one out. Just go ahead and grab your penis.
Men are not that smart. Men are not that smart. They're not going to do that. If a man sees an opportunity for sex, whether it's consensual or not, and I'm just going to be very honest, they are more than likely going to try. You have to really, really let a man know that this shit ain't going to go down. And that's
what I was saying, because people kept on being defensive about it, and they were like, well, maybe she isn't that kind of person that likes to have confrontation. And that's great. I understand that a lot of people have that.
But I'm sorry.
You know that
but in that moment, I'd be very confrontational. I would be extremely confrontational, bitch. We gonna find some knives, some box cutters. I'm gonna throw a heel and shoot at you. If your body is your temple, your sanity, because yes, these type of things are traumatic events in a person's life. If you do not value yourself enough to fight. Not saying that it's okay. A man should never do this to anybody, a woman, whoever. But you've got to value yourself enough to say, okay, no, this ain't going to go down. Not without a fight. Because we going to be some bleeding bitches up in here.
You can prevent even getting to that point is what I'm saying. Because if you know that you're not the kind of person that's going to be able to confront somebody, and you know you're somebody that's I'll just go along with it because I'm too uncomfortable and I won't say anything till later, then when a man is out drinking with you, late at night, and y'all having a merry old time, and he said, oh, you want to come back to my house? Bitch, there's only one or two things that's going to happen. He is about to try to fuck you. So, if you ain't trying to get fucked, Take your ass home.
Exactly.
And do it at the bar where there's a bunch of people around you so that if something does pop off, you have people to see. But don't go to his house, because what if Aziz Ansari was somebody that was going to actually rape her? What if she said no and he tossed her ass against the wall and just had at it? This has been a whole different situation. But had you stayed your ass at the bar, you wouldn't have had none of this happen.
Exactly. And, that's one thing I I've had this conversation with a couple of people, because, of course, this is all over the place and everybody's talking about it. And I'm like, women have to be smarter. They can't put themselves in these positions. There is not a day that it'll ever be okay for a man to sexually assault a woman or anybody. But we know that the day where men are not sexually assaulting women has not come. So we need to be a little bit smarter and to prepare ourselves. Girl, if you need to keep a gun on you, you need to keep a switchblade on you. But before we can get there, don't allow yourself to be alone with a man that you don't know.
Put yourself in these situations.
If you don't plan on having sex, why are you at his house? Why? Why are you there?
I thought they were just going to watch Netflix and eat chocolate.
I know, child. I'm gonna tell you now, if you go to his house, he has plans on having sex with you. Listen to my words. Let them flow from me to you. A man's intention, no matter the situation, no matter how much of a gentleman he is, no matter how white his teeth is, no matter how clean his car is, no matter how pressed his suit is, he is intending on having sex with you.
Because otherwise, why would he want you to come home at fucking midnight with him, bitch? Ain't nobody trying to do nothing after midnight but fuck.
Yeah. He would have drove you. If he was a gentleman, he would have walked you to your car and said goodnight and let that be it. But as soon as a man say, "Oh, you want to go back to my place?" That already let you know, girl. He is not what you thought he was. Unless you down for that. If you down for that, girl, go ahead and get your nut. But if you ain't down for that, then you need to take your ass home.
Yeah.
Where it's safe. And make sure he don't know your address. Okay? There's a book that I read a while ago. It's called The Invisible Man. And one thing that sticks with me is you don't ever know anybody's danger potential. You don't. I mean, you have to always go into every situation believing that this could be dangerous.
Yeah, you need to be sitting
at any
on ready.
moment.
You know, always be sitting on ready for some shit to pop off. You want to hope nothing pops off.
You need to be always ready. Yeah, you want to hope, but you got to be prepared. You always got to be prepared to square up. Square up at any moment. Be like, okay, bitch, if you want to take it there, I can take it further. Now, what you want? So.
The last thing that I wanted to talk about with all of this, I don't have a way to tie this into the topic we just got off of. So.
Yeah.
But the last thing was Kylie Jenner's baby. Now, not so much about her baby, but the conversations that took place online, on social media. There were a lot of people that were excited and happy for her, because I watched the video. I don't really care about her like that. I like the rest of the Kardashians, but I don't really care about her. So I watched the video because I just wanted to see it. It was a cute little video. I liked the way that it was edited and it was filmed and all the interviews that people did. Have you seen it?
No.
I'm just asking you. But so it was essentially like her friend. Somebody filmed and showed like her friends all talking like kind of to the baby. And like a message when she gets older, she can see this, and then her talking about her journey with it. It was all really cute and very well filmed. If I want you to watch it for anything, it's just the way that it was filmed and edited together. But after watching that, I was like, okay, I moved on with my life. There was nothing really else to talk about. But then I kept seeing on Twitter and Instagram, people are like, people are mad that she posted on the Superbowl, because everybody's life has to revolve around the Superbowl apparently. But people are mad that she posted it on that day. People were also mad that she had the baby in February, which is Black History Month, and I thought was real stupid. But
how can you be mad about that? I mean, she had no choice on when the baby was gonna be born. I mean,
somebody
really,
was like, of course.
We get mad at nature now, bitch. Like, we get mad at God, bitch.
Somebody was like, oh, so of course she had her baby on February 1st, the first day of Black History Month. And I'm like, well, the baby is half black. A, and B, I'm sure she wasn't sitting 9 months ago. Like, you got to get me pregnant on this day, so I can have this baby on this day.
I don't understand that bullshit. There are plenty of people of fair skin color born in February. That is not the first baby. I mean, out of all the things to get mad about, I mean, people waste so much energy on the dumbest shit. But my thing is, you know, I don't give a fuck about that. But I've watched, like I said, I've been watching the talk lately. They talked about the whole thing, and everybody was like, "Oh my goodness, how could she keep a secret?" Although she didn't really keep a secret. What I didn't get is that, okay, you're a celebrity, and you're saying that you really wanted this to be a process or that you experienced privately. And the thing is odd to me. It's like, okay, you want to experience it privately, but you release an 11-minute video after you have the baby about the whole process. Now, doesn't seem all that private to me. But, whatever.
I guess she wanted the journey to be private. But once it was executed and she got to the end of that journey, she was like, okay, now I can show y'all what I recorded through this journey. And then people were like, oh, I don't understand why everybody's talking about this Kylie Jenner's baby. I don't really care. And it's just like, okay, but you posted about it. Obviously you care. People who don't care about it didn't say shit about it. So the fact that you sat here and you dedicated, even if it was just like 10 seconds, 10, 20 seconds, you dedicated that time out of your life to talk shit about this situation when you could have easily just looked away from it. You could have easily just kept scrolling. You didn't have to watch her video. You didn't have to watch people tweeting about it. But you sat there and you watched and went through all of this shit just to say how you don't care. And it was like so many people saying it. And I'm like, y'all do this for so many things about celebrities or popular people that y'all don't care about. But it's like, obviously you care to some extent. Because you're speaking of this. Child. You don't talk about shit else you don't care about.
Child, yes they do. They talk about everything they don't care about. What I don't get is people spend more energy talking about things they don't like than things they do like. And like I said, I didn't know really anything about, I don't follow the Kardashians or the Jenners or any of that. Because, I'm not really a fan of reality TV all that much. But, the only reason I really knew about it is because, other people have told me about it. And I've been watching the talk lately at work, and they talked about the whole video and the pregnancy thing and whatever. But as far as all this other stuff that you're telling me about what's going on social media, I didn't know anything about it. And you know why I didn't know anything about it? It's because I don't care about it. These other people that are sitting there like, I don't care about it, but they're keeping up with all of the information. Child, either you don't have a job or you don't have shit to do, or what's going on with your life, honey? Because clearly you are an unhappy person. You are depressed. You have no love in your life. You don't love yourself. So you need to get yourself together from the inside out, okay? And then reevaluate your life so you can get off of Kylie's life. But anyway, so from now on until the end of All-Star season, RuPaul's Drag Race
I forgot all about this.
I don't know. So we're going to try to end every week of our show with talking about RuPaul's Drag Race because we are huge avid fans and we really want Trixie Mattel to win.
Yes. We're both very much so definite, like consensus on she needs to win. And it's kind of pissed us off that she's been safe each time. And it really pissed us off about this last episode. And I'm only going to say this. I really hate that people need to, but I'm going to say this now. Spoilers. But if you have not watched that episode and you are listening to this, bitch, I don't understand. Anyway.
Yeah, so spoiler alert to anybody who are fans of RuPaul's Drag Race and has not started watching it. If you are not a fan of spoilers, then, here's the tagline right here so y'all don't be blowing us up. Y'all didn't say spoiler alert. Okay, bitches, spoiler alert right here from now on. So if you can't listen to the rest of this, you better turn the shit off. Grab you a cup of tea, calm the fuck down, and go the fuck to sleep, okay?
And so they walk into the thing, and who was it? Was it, oh my God, Kennedy, who was getting into it with Milk because of what Thorgy had wrote on the thing about Shangela? That part I really didn't understand.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why Kennedy was so mad about it. Like, I at that moment, that was probably the only moment that I kind of agreed with Milk when he was saying, but that's her thing. It's just funny for her. And she was like, well, I don't get it. And it was like, well, you're not a clown. That's not your gig. You don't understand it because that's not your comedy. But Shangela wasn't mad about it. If that person didn't get mad, why are you so mad? If Shangela's sitting here kikiing about it and she talking about, oh, it's fine, you over here pressed about it as if the message was wrote to you.
I mean, and that is, I get exactly what you're saying. I feel like she took it too seriously, but at the same time, well, I'm going to say this, because I don't think that Shangela and Kennedy are as close as what they trying to say they are. I don't think that they're best friends. They're saying they're best friends. But me, I'm a very protective friend. So I can get if that's your best friend, like for real. Like I would probably be more offended. Like
yeah,
I probably would. I'd be ready to cut the bitch. Like, bitch, what's she say?
If you or I walked up in there and somebody and Thor just wrote that about you, I'd have her same attitude. But I feel like only thing I can really see is maybe Kennedy saw the actual intent because she saw Dorothy for who Dorothy is. And Shangela was kind of being naive about it.
Dorothy meant
because the intent of it was definitely an ill will. But I feel like Shangela was naive about it because she's like, oh, it's just a joke, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Milk is up Dorothy's ass for whatever reason. But I feel like if Shangela wasn't mad, and the way that it read could have come off as it was a joke. So that's what I was saying. I don't understand why Kennedy was so mad. But if Kennedy did read it as the actual intent, I can see it then.
I don't think they're best friends. So I feel like Kennedy, at that same time, I don't agree that Kennedy probably should have been that upset about it. Like I said, if that was his best friend, I can understand being like, okay, bitch, we can go. You like, bitch, catch these haters on the side of the street of the 7-Eleven because I got you.
Did you say
but, you know, if it's not that.
Catch these hands on Gotham streets.
Child, you can catch them, bitch. You can catch them.
Oh my God.
But you know, bitch, I ain't never seen y'all together other than
Really, that's what I was saying.
Not to say that they haven't like toured or did anything together, but I don't think that they just know each other like that. Where it's like, that's my girl, that's
y'all
my
friend.
Y'all
probably have a great time when y'all are
that.
together. You're probably kiki it up, but I mean, that's really anybody. If you're like not close to them, but if that's like an acquaintance to you, you can kiki it up with any goddamn body. Yeah. But to just sit there and be like
any coworker,
essentially.
Because I would say that they're coworkers. So like any coworker, I can go to work and kiki with a coworker, but bitch, I don't know. We don't know each other. We don't meet after work. Okay, we ain't getting drinks together. You don't come over. We don't watch All Stars together. Okay, bitch.
So after that, I believe it started it went right into the challenge, right? Where they were doing that whole, what is the Bitchler, I think it's called?
Yeah, the Bitchler.
So I think Rue actually does have something for that boy. What is his name?
I don't know, but he is cute.
Very cute.
But I enjoyed Kennedy. She was very hilarious.
Kennedy was hilarious as hell, child. Had me dying.
She deserved to win that one. But I feel like Trixie would have won if Milk didn't overpower her.
I honestly
if Milk would have stayed in her motherfucking lane. She was so hurt about that whole safe thing that she was trying to take as much as she could to get spotlight. But the thing is, to me, if you shine, you don't have to take from other people.
Michelle Visage told them not to talk over each other. And you could see that in everybody else's performance. They really weren't trying to talk over each other. They let each other speak. But when it came to Trixie and Milk literally would not shut up. And you could see the irritation in Trixie's face. I ain't never seen Trixie so irritated.
Trixie was pissed.
Never.
But I would have been irritated too. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have made it through that take because I would have snatched that bitch. I would have snatched her on up. See, she ain't black.
But I do get you when you said how she was trying to do anything to get the spotlight, and it's like she was trying so hard to make sure that she got praise for that performance, that she wasn't really paying attention to what she was doing. Or maybe she was, and she thought that, oh, well, if I keep all the attention on myself...
I feel like it was intentional.
Yeah, I was like, if I keep all the attention on myself, then they have no choice but to see me. Because I think she probably knew that Trixie, of course, is a much funnier queen than she is. So if Trixie come out there playing that role, Trixie's going to nail it. Because she was nailing it.
And what I don't get, because that bitch ain't that motherfucking delusional. I feel like she is a little bit of delusional, but when she was saying, oh, I felt like we were shining together. I thought that we were really sharing the stage. Bitch, where? Yeah. Where were y'all sharing that motherfucking stage? Was it backstage, bitch? Because it wasn't stage left. It wasn't stage right, and it surely wasn't center. So let me know. Because I missed it, girl. They must have edited those parts out.
Yeah. I was so mad about it. But then when they moved over to the runway, child, and she got that ass put in the bottom, I was clapping. I'm like, listen, you cried so hard because you was safe last episode. But then when they brought that ass up there and put you in the bottom, you were shook because you did not expect to be there. You wanted to be critiqued so goddamn bad, bitch. Now you're getting critiqued. Go ahead and have it and go your ass home.
Bitch, wish she was safe now. My thing is, I was a huge fan of Milk, but after this season, I'm like, she done got her head so far up her own ass, she's licking her own goddamn kidneys. And I just don't understand how you allow yourself to be that self-involved. I understand that she's had a lot of success in doing big campaigns with well-known, products and things like that with Madonna and with Marc Jacobs, I think, and doing like high fashion stuff, which none of the other girls are really doing. But at the same time, you still got to have some type of humility about yourself. All that shit can be snatched back from you at any time. Yeah. And I'm sorry, but what the fuck was that wig that Shangela was wearing? Because that shit was ugly. Green wig with the popcorn. It was so damn ugly. Yes. I was like, girl, I understand you got a theme going and everything.
Yeah, but that wig was unnecessary. I feel like I almost would have preferred it. Like, if she wanted a green wig, she could have got a green wig. But when you add that popcorn in there, I'd start questioning your decision making. Like, I really question your decision making because it wasn't cute. And then, who was it?
Right.
Oh my God. Was it Milk who had the little ponytail thing at the top of her head, and she tried to take pull the ponytail out, and then apparently like a cup or something was showing, and she's like, "Oh no, those are just dark roots."
Yeah,
it was just like, so that part kind of made me laugh too, because I'm like, okay, so you want it to be critiqued, but when you get that critique, bitch, you can't handle it because you tried to shut that down real quick. Before she even let that whole sentence come out her mouth, you was coming back with your clap back. So it's like, she didn't want to be critiqued. She wanted praise. That's what Milk wanted. She wanted to be told that she is as good as she believes she is. And when she didn't get that, Ho was hurt. Ho was very hurt.
Yeah. So the top two was Kennedy and Benda LaCreme.
Benda has only won one of the two, or one of the three that she's been of the episodes, but she's been in that position each time.
She's been in the top every time, which I'm sure everybody should, because I think nobody.
I surely did. And the moment I saw her walk in the room, I was like, she gonna go home soon.
I've always liked Ben, so I'm really interested in like seeing her do well.
When you see somebody like that and you can just tell that they brought their A game. Like, she didn't come there to play games. She came there to win because she has brought her shit each time. I feel like she's very true to the drag that she is. She's a very camp queen. So it's like she's very true to that. Yeah. She knows her lane. She knows how to...
She knows who the fuck she is.
And she knows how to play into that. I feel like Trixie is as well. But for whatever reason, Trixie's isn't translating the way that Bendela's is, because Bendela has been busting it out.
I don't know if Trixie has a strategy, like she's trying to save her shit for on down the line.
I don't know, because she's been kind of upset. Like the third episode, she was kind of irritated that she was not in the top again. As much as I'm rooting for Trixie to win, I would not be mad if Bendela won. I feel like if anybody else is deserving of it, Bendela really is. As far as at least from what we've seen so far, Bendela is really proving why she is where she is right now.
Okay, if we were on RuPaul's Drag Race, who would we do in Snatch Game?
That's a good question. Who would Kenny do for Snatch Game? I'm looking at my wall right now and I'm just seeing Marilyn. I cannot play Marilyn though. I'm not subtle as she is. I could probably I could see if I can make it funny and try to talk all soft and sweet like she is, and then just do something deep with my voice. I probably would do Marilyn, if anything. I probably would do like a black version of Marilyn Monroe. Because I can't think of anybody else. Like, I just looked up and she's all over my wall, so that's all I can give you. I would have to think about this a little bit more.
What I feel like with Marilyn, you would be able to characterize her. You know her. You know that's somebody you've researched and you know her well. Me, I would do Fran Drescher.
Bitch, I would die. We couldn't be in the same season together because he fucked me all up. There was a comment that I got on a YouTube video recently. I don't know if I told you about this, but the person was like, they were really sweet in it, so I don't want to like kind of talk down to them or about them. But the person was like, I see that you have Marilyn all over your wall, and I was just wondering if you had heard about Dorothy Dandridge, which I kind of side-eye, like, bitch, who the fuck don't know who the hell Dorothy Dandridge is? But she was like, I wondered if you know who.
I've seen this on Twitter, not to cut over you, but I've seen this on Twitter where, bitches, will say shit like, oh, all you black hoes know who Marilyn Monroe is, but y'all don't know who Dorothy
I didn't know that was a thing. Really?
Yeah, I've seen people say that. And I'm kind of like, okay, I know who both of them are. I'm not a big, although Marilyn Monroe was a beautiful woman, I feel like she had no talent, so I'm not all that here for her as everybody else is. But I love Dorothy Dandridge. But I feel like people feel just because you're black, you're not allowed to like people of different skin colors. And I think that's, especially if they're white, that's the main thing. If you're black and you like Marilyn Monroe, that is your decision. If that's who you look up to, that's who spoke to you the most. I'm like, people don't fall in love with a person because of their skin color. They fall in love with their personal life and struggle. And
that's story. Essentially why I fell in love with her.
Speaks to a
that's
person.
What spoke to me. Like, I didn't get into Marilyn because I felt like she was an amazing actress or anything like that. Yeah, she's a beautiful woman. She's a sex symbol and all of that. And that's kind of what I said to the girl, because she said, did I know about Dorothy Dandridge? Because Dorothy Dandridge is a sister, and she's just as beautiful as Marilyn, and she kind of has the same get up and whatnot. And I was like, okay, but Dorothy Dandridge's struggle in her life, from what I know at least, I haven't researched a bit, so I don't know. But from what I know, she did not go through the same kind of emotional and kind of psychological shit that Marilyn has. Marilyn was somebody that was very insecure. And she was always being told she was beautiful, and she was in these movies and people were using her and things like that. But then she would go home and be crying because she felt like she was ugly and she couldn't amount to nothing. And so that story spoke to me because I've dealt with shit like that before as well. So I don't know. Don't think that I'm one of these people that think that just because Marilyn is a blonde bombshell that I'm in love with her. Her actual story, the actual person, is who spoke to me. Norma Jean is who spoke to me, not Marilyn Monroe. So that's what I had to say to her. I was trying my best not to come off and be rude about it, but I was just like, don't just assume, bitch, because I like one sex symbol, I should like this other one. I feel like Dorothy Dandridge, at least from like I said, what I know about her, she ain't been through struggles like that. I'm sure she's gone through the same struggles that every other black person has coming up in the industry. But that I'm not looking to be sympathetic to a struggle of a black person because I go through that same struggle. I'm looking at something else.
Yeah. Now, I saw the movie of, I saw the Weekend with Marilyn. I saw that one, which was really good. I also saw the movie about Dorothy Dandridge with Halle Berry, and loved that movie too. Like,
was it like a biopic?
That movie so many times. Yeah, it was like a biopic. It was basically telling her story. Now, she dealt with like struggles. I think she was, from what I remember, she was married to a white man, and she had an issue with sex. Like, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong, I believe she was like molested or raped or something like in her younger life, and so she had an issue with having sex.
That's similar to Marilyn as well.
Like, yeah. So I mean, that story is kind of similar, but so I remember that, and that's sticking with me because we all have our own little traumas with sex at some capacity. Like at some point, we felt violated by somebody, and I feel like it's like a common core between a lot of people. Like when you speak to people, you hear their different stories, you kind of find that a lot of people have dealt with sexual assault, a lot, and it's sad and it's scary
that so many people have
that is a
that
common
there's so many
thing.
people out there lurking to just offend you with their sex.
Right. Just, oh my God. But Lord, okay, I'm sure we've mentioned before, this is basically just our regular conversation that we have.
Y'all just hearing it
over the phone. And the other day, yeah, but y'all get to peer in through the window, do a little phone tap, do a little fly on the wall, a spy cam, a little Coco dorm without all the Coco.
You just got too real.
But
these people don't know nothing about Coco dorm.
Yeah, I don't know about Coco Dorm, do they? Child. The people that do know about Coco Dorm know we talking about, dog.
Bitch, now we about to have people Googling Coco Dorm. Please don't, y'all. If there's one thing I don't want you to do not Google it. If you don't know what it is, don't do it.
It has been a pleasure being back, and we're definitely going to try our best to get an episode out every week. It may not be on the same day, so don't hold us to that. Subscribe to us so you can get a notification. That way you know when it's coming, because I ain't gonna hold up to it being every Friday. But, because more than likely this will get posted. Today is Sunday, so this might get posted tomorrow, But either way, thank you for listening, and we're here to try to give you the best content we can provide by just being our glorious, lovely selves, and continue to pop the talk.
I'm so done with you. Bye, bitches. I can't stand you.